Now, I am really, really happy that we're going to have Inam Alghoul coming up on the stage here. I give you a big hand here. Inam is a fantastic person. Background, she's a physiotherapist, and you have been working really hard at Restad Gård together with the group here about different kinds of support initiatives. And you also speak with the woman's voice, which really thought was important here, and we thought that was a good voice to start out this day. And you were giving, and I think you took it, and I think you also set the title of your talk, from a refugee point of view, how can higher education work together with refugees to promote diversity, inclusion, and democracy? And I don't think no better could start out that than you. So I give you the microphone now, please. Do we need some help here? Is there a technical person here that can help? Adnan, you have to sort out all these things when the computer doesn't work. You got stuck here with my presentation.
Hello. Welcome everybody. I'll talk a little bit today about the refugees and their engagement and access to the educational system, taking care of human rights, diversity and democracy. One of our challenges, yeah, is already here. Yeah, okay. In the very beginning, I just would like to ask a question. You don't need to answer, but just think about it. What is the first thought come up to your mind when you hear the word refugee? What is the first word? Maybe the first emergency. Is it something looks like this one? Or this one? Or maybe this? Or this? Or this? Is it all what you see? What about this one? This is what people looks like in the way here. People who was left everything behind them in their home countries. They have left a complete life back there. They have left their homes, jobs, friends, family members, memories, a whole life. We have to think all the time that no one chooses to leave his country. Everyone was forced to do so for one reason or another. And once they are on the land, in Europe, the dreamland, they are totally tired, exhausted, but happy. Exactly like this girl. They are full of ambition and hope in a better future. But here, once they are here in asylum seekers camps or accommodations, they are finally safe, but life is still hard. And there are a group of challenges facing them. The housing situation, which is sometimes a deep place in the forest or summer housing, totally isolated from the society. And the waiting process, which is very long. For me, it took 32 months in the camp. And the hard, high criteria for participation in the system. The introduction program, the educational system, the whole society. It's so hard, and there are no access. The asylum seeker is not having an access to the educational system in this country. And the biggest challenge, the lack of information. Because people are usually afraid of the things they don't know. They miss much possibilities. We can, here in this place, or in this moment, talk about many barriers the refugees facing in this new society. We can obviously talk about the language barrier, the environment barrier, the climate, the culture, the mentality. Many barriers are surrounding the refugee. And those who have educations, professions, the cultured persons, the academics, when they sit here for a long time in the asylum seekers camps, gradually they will lose their educational identity. So, all of this leads to a totally frustrated person. Welcome to Restad Gård, the largest asylum seekers camp in Sweden, with a capacity of around 1,450 beds. In this camp, it's like a small community with people from different nationalities, different backgrounds, came here as asylum seekers and stuck in the camp. Hopeless, helpless, nothing to do, just stuck in the room, doing nothing, waiting for someone to help and to feed. And this was exactly not acceptable for a group of people, group of asylum seekers, who self-organized themselves in 2014 and called themselves the Support Group Network, who took the initiative to start empower people to do something, to be their own voice providers, to do things instead of waiting for somebody to do things for them. And there, where support group network looking for the competence and resources existed, and listening to the needs and the challenges, and talking out loud, representing the refugees, and to be the voice, the own voice provider, instead of letting others talking in their behalf. Going back to 1951, to Geneva Convention, we can see that not only do each country have a legal obligation to protect persons under the refugee status, but they should also increase their efforts to integrate and empower these people in host communities that will eventually become their homes. Support group network. Depending all the time on the self-empowerment of people and the initiative ideas. So started to initiate needs-based activities in different fields. Women activities, kids activities, youth, sport, support group, kids dance group, trips, concerts, study circles, and much more. But through our experience, we noticed something. The academics in the support group network and in the support group network's activities, the academics were all the time those who are with positive thinking. They were the best participants, they were ambitious, they were faster in language learning, they were the best volunteers, and the proactive persons, they were noticeable linguistically, and they were talkative. Here, new demands raised up. It's not enough anymore with the normal activities. And as we are doing things needs-based, we noticed there are a big number of doctors in Restad Gård, engineers, teachers, lawyers, graduated bachelor students or higher education, and interrupted students, and more. So, there is a need to start new kinds of activities, such as special language courses, validation of the certificates, and access to the educational system, and information. This is why we started to knock the doors and build bridges with universities and the educational system. So we can say that we built relations, good relations, to some universities like University West, Gothenburg University, Chalmers, University, and Yrkeshögskolan, and more. And together, for a better future, we started with the University West, of course. Built a relation with them. Some volunteers from the university came to us, organized specialized language courses for academics and specific professions, organized lectures, academic clubs meetings attendance, exchange visits between the university and Restad Gård, and we helped to send plenty of refugees certificates for validation, and this saved plenty of time. Then more questions raised up, higher demands, so we needed efforts to be increased. Then there were a possibility for internships in university, and we ended by a partnership with University West, between Support Group Network and University West. And it was a success for us, both of us. Through our relation, or through our partnerships with the university, a specialized course on creating organizations and all about the organization system in Sweden was given by University West to our volunteers in Support Group Network. Because at that time, we weren't an official organization yet. And the special courses and programs was built in the university for the academics of the refugees, taking care of their needs and the language. The validation project, which my colleague Rada will talk about. And then many university students have got help in their final thesis on refugees by us, by the academic volunteers in Support Group Network. We can say that there are benefits or advantages by getting the refugees in connected to the educational system. The quality persons are attracted by universities and the labor market much more easier than other uneducated people. The relations with the university gave us much information about available possibilities. So more people succeeded to join the campus. And many researchers focused on the educated segment of the refugees. Few universities started to change their strategy to be more open and to look for open, good examples to copy. And this was positive. And all of this, we can have a holistic word as possibilities. More open-minded strategies gives more possibilities, not only for refugees, but also for the hosting countries. And now, I have some few words to say, to save your time and not to be tråkigt. In Support Group Network, we believe in human rights, diversity, and democracy. And that the rights are not granted from one to another. Persons, human beings, are born with their rights. The only one mission for the governments, civil societies, and local communities are to save these rights and to make sure it's delivered to its owners. So, what happens when the refugees take the initiative and start to knock the doors, build relations with universities, open the ways to easy access to the educational system for refugees, create academic activities, and build the bridge between the refugees and the educational system. All of this is minimizing the distance and saving time for everyone. The European societies are and will continue to become increasingly diverse. Throughout the last decades, many people who experienced hardship in various spheres of their lives in their home countries came to Europe, and it's likely that many of them will keep coming. So what we believe in is that not thinking of a holistic inclusion strategy that gives priority to the socio-economic and political integration of refugees and migrants in the fabric of the host communities is nothing but burying one's head in the sand. So, in order to accomplish a real diverse society, we must talk about the refugees as a resource and not as a consumption. We believe that to have an educational system, a really diverse one, which believes in or talking about itself as democratic and taking care of human rights, this will never be accomplished unless every single member in this society is having a space in this circle. Thanks for everyone for listening. And I can't go down or walk down before I thank my friends and colleagues, because me, Adnan, Raghib, Bilal are here on the stage today by the help and huge efforts from every member in support group network, the mysterious soldiers behind the scene, starting from Yusuf, our executive director of the SGM, Khalil, who is a board member and he is all the time there to help, Misbah, the head of the Restad Gård local support group, Mahmoud, who is all the time helping in organizing the media section and the presentations, and everyone, every single one else in the organization. Everyone is a hero who overcome all of their difficulties or their sadness and problems and decided to make a difference and to restart their destroyed life. Refugees are strong. We have to stop looking at them as victims. They are survivors who can make a change. And they are already started to make it. Welcome all of you, the organizers and the partners and the attenders who made this day happen. And I wish you all a good day and meaningful time with us today, and that we will go, every one of us will go at the end of the day with a good fruit of ideas and new ways of thinking and more open-minded for a real, diverse, democratic society which can continue being open and which can omfamna alla. Embrace all of us.